So starting off with some really basic astrological information, and you won't be quizzed, so don't worry about it. But I think it can help to give you an idea of what we're talking about. This is what's called the astrological wheel. And every sign rules a piece of the pie. There are 12 pieces, and it rules a piece of the pie, 1 through 12. The astrological year actually starts with Aries, the fire sign, so spring. In March, it is the beginning of spring, it's newness. So that is where we start. Then it travels around till it comes back to Aries, so it travels through all of the signs. And so tonight what we've done is we've gone through Aries, all of these signs, and we've come up to Capricorn, which is at the top of the chart. It is the 10th house. And then we only have 2 more signs left before we start the year again, until we come back to spring. So it follows the seasons. Capricorn is one of the 3 earth signs. We also have Taurus, and we have Taurus in the house, and a couple of Virgos in the house. So we have a lot of earth energy. What that means is you can basically think of the elements in the way that you would how they react. Earth. If you know anything about Ayurvedic, it would be usually considered more of a tamasic energy, grounded, really stable. Sometimes they can have a hard time moving, picking up their feet. Now I'm generalizing on just your sun sign, because the rest of your chart can really alter that a lot. But for the most part, that's your inner nature. So Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo are earthy. They like to feel their feet on the ground. They like to be very stable. So I'm going to just tell you real quickly about the other ones, because I know that there are other elements here. So water, which goes along with earth, and if you think about it, what we do is we pour water onto the earth to make things grow. Water, if there is no container, is all over the place when we spill a glass of water. But the earth can then make rivers and lakes. So they're very compatible with each other. And that would be Pisces, Scorpio. Let me just point them out to you. So we would start with Cancer, then Scorpio, and then Pisces. And those are the water signs, which we do not have a water sign here tonight. So we'll just talk about that. And then the fire signs are, pointing out again, Aries, Leo, and then Sagittarius in the 9th house, which was last month. And then the air signs, we start with Gemini, going over to Libra, and ending up with Aquarius. These trinities of signs all mean something. We're not going to go quite into that. That's going to be the class that we do, the 6 or 8 month long astrology class, where we'll hit how all of that works together. And it's really pretty fascinating, because these trinities go along with mythology, which are ancient, that hit the Celtic tradition, hit the Hindu yogic tradition. And what's fascinating, the more you study it, is that they're all so intertwined that it just can blow you right out of the water. Like, for instance, getting these classes together for me can be a real challenge, because I love to study, but it's like, what can I put into this container? You know, because there's so much for each sign. So Capricorn is one of the earth signs, and it is the 10th movement, rules the 10th house, and it is also cardinal. And not to go too much in it, but cardinal signs are considered the leaders, they're initiators, they're achievers. So again, it's one of those signs where it's important to get things done, to make things happen. So, the journey to get us here, I think, is important to just kind of recap very quickly. And if you guys have questions, let me know. Okay, just let me know, in case it gets a little too confusing. But the journey that we are tracking through the signs, the reason that we came up with this series between Kate and Steve and I, was that you can also track, or at least experience, the evolution of the soul or spirit through the signs. So even though you aren't a Capricorn, it's a couple of you, it's that that is still an essence of something you're going to go through, because everybody has every sign in their chart. It's somewhere. And there's some place in your life where Capricorn is important, or the planet that rules it, which is Saturn. Every sign is ruled by one of the celestial bodies. And tonight we're talking about Saturn. So, how we get there? Let's just say a spirit is born. We have a new baby spirit. And to generalize about it, what we would say is, it comes in as an Aries. And an Aries is, each one has a phrase, is I am. So the baby comes in, it's like, I'm here. Okay, everybody, it's all about me. You got to take care of me because I'm the center of the universe. Thinking of it as we would, a newborn baby. That's how it is. The Aries energy, that fire sign, if you know any Aries, they can be a little bit like that. Now, I'm not saying that they don't evolve past it, let's hope so. But there can be some that are really the pure essence of that, where it can be very self-centered, okay? But, I'm talking about the pure essence of a sign. And none of us are really that, although I have met one Aries like that. And then, so we move to the second one, which is Taurus, which is I have. So the child starts with, here I am, and then all of a sudden, as it grows, you can think, chakra development, all of that in some respects. Psychological development, it's like, oh, I've got these, and I got these. That would be the first thing. These are mine, because I can make a move, okay? And then I can actually acquire things. So I'm not going to go into detail about each one of these, but you can see where I'm coming from as far as the development of each of these different phases. In Gemini, the baby starts to make noises, or actually starts to form words, and it says, wow, I can communicate. Mom and dad have been communicating. I have that too. Ba, 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 ba. And then the kid who never shuts up because it's like revelation. So they start to communicate. And, that goes along, you can see like with the air element. Cancer is then, I feel. The child starts to say, wow, what's going on inside me? What they just said made me feel bad, or I fell down and I have pain, and what's that cause? And so psychologically there's this whole thing about, well, I can feel. And so how do they deal with that? Then in Leo, there's this power thing. Ha, I can stop you. It's like somebody was telling us the story about their child who everything had been going along fine to a certain age. They had this routine. I remember who it was now. And then she said, now we get up in the morning and he has realized that by taking his shoes off after I've already put them on and stuck them under, he can control my whole day, my whole thing. There's that I will, I have power. Okay, so Leo is coming into their own power. In Virgo, it goes a little bit on that kind of something a little bit deeper mentally. It's like, I can kind of analyze this, think about it, and make some decisions. So the Virgo can kind of do that kind of thing. So as we move around the wheel, we see this evolution. And then in Libra, it's like, so these first 6 signs we've dealt with me, 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 I can do, I can do, I can do. And then all of a sudden it rises up over the horizon, and in Libra it says, and you and I can have a relationship. And you and I, oh, and I have a relationship with my parents, and how does that affect me? So it's this whole thing about how we relate and how relationships make us who we are. Then in Scorpio, it is coming into the 8th house here, and Scorpio is about dealing with desire. And I like to add create, because through desire, through the desire of, we can make things happen, we can create things. So Scorpio and Capricorn, the one that we're going to be talking tonight, are considered the 2 mystery signs because they have this depth about them that can be a little bit hard to understand. So that is the I desire part. When we get to a part where we can start to realize that we desire things, that there's more to life, the bigger questions we want to know about. So we start to dig deep in, like not just knowing our emotions, but way in, like why am I here? That's where Scorpio takes us, way down into the underworld a lot of